What's up, Warrior Boys? Back at it again with another reaction. We have disturbing moments caught on doorbell cameras. Let me tell you something, man. I have security cameras all over my home, inside and outside. If anything goes, I got the burner ready. Let's get it.
It's really easy to contain yourself in your own little bubble. You have yourself, your family, your friends, and if you're lucky, often locked doors to hide behind. In your own world, away from the evils that lurk outside. But what happens when evil walks to your front doorstep? With the only thing stopping a life...
Pow! That's what's going to happen. I am an advocate for everyone having a weapon in their home. I don't care what type of weapon you have, shotgun, bombs, man. Do whatever you have to do to protect your family. So let's get straight to it.
Life-changing moment is you and a wooden door. Luckily, camera manufacturers such as Ring have created added measures to ensure that these evils stay outside. Cool. With real-time footage at your front door, you're able to see exactly who is there and why.
Yo, I remember growing up, there was no having Ring doorbells in the front door. Like, if somebody knock on the door, you either got to look out from the top of the window, try to make sure it's not a creep out there, or you just going to have, you have to poke in a little hole, you peek and see who's out there, or you're just going to have to open the door and be surprised. Thank God for technology.
And not every knock should be answered.
Because I'm a neighbor in Canada.
Let's dive into the dark world of Ring doorbell footage. From creepy visitors to unwelcome criminals, and even the fear of the unknown that would come from simply answering your door. I'm Pixels After Dark, and let's explore the unnerving horrors caught on Ring doorbell cams. On December 27th of 2020, just a few days after the holidays, an older woman approached the front doorsteps of a house she never visited before. In the aftermath of a rainstorm, while still holding her umbrella, the woman just stares at the door with her mouth wide open.
I thought she was yawning. Yo, what? Okay, if somebody's ringing the doorbell and the whole time they're like, and you look at it, you peek and you're like, yo, this dude crazy. And it's raining?
She does this for about 30 seconds, just standing still and swaying from side to side, before leaving the doorstep and never returning.
What?
It's clear that this woman isn't well, and I truly hope that she found her way to safety by the end of the night. While this certainly is...
Yeah, first of all, the music sets the mood. I feel what you're doing.
It's a terrifying sight to witness through a doorbell camera. The woman seemed to pose no immediate threat. The same, however, cannot be said about this elderly woman who visited this Ring user's doorstep, wielding a sharp knife by their front door. She takes a minute, pacing back and forth before pressing the doorbell. She spends the moments waiting.
Okay, hold up. Like, what do you do in this scenario? Okay, if it's a man, it's different. You might want to, unalive him. But if it's an elderly woman who looks like she's mentally ill, but she's holding a knife. Hey, man. Hey. You knock on my door, you got to go.
Waiting, rocking back and forth while repeatedly looking at her surroundings.
That's the weird thing.
Most users theorize that this woman was suffering from dementia and she was likely just confused and scared. However, even with her reasoning being justified by such an impactful disease, who knows what may have happened if the door was answered. I think I speak for everyone when I say we're all lucky.
It's the way she's holding the knife. It's not like if someone's going to stab you, you hold it in a different manner. She's holding it up front, which is really weird. That does tell you maybe she does have mental issues. And she keeps looking up. She keeps looking behind her. Whew. Yeah, you just going to have to call the police to get that lady.
That scenario is left unknown. The following footage was captured on December 31st of 2021 in Smithtown, New York. A man in a hoodie can be found stealing a Ring doorbell camera. It was later retrieved and found to be the man's own neighbor living right across the hall. 2 weeks later, on January 15th, the man can be seen approaching the doorbell camera once more in nothing but jeans, asking for peace between neighbors.
What do you want?
Yo, have y'all seen the video of the neighbors in the apartment complex that ended up, unaliving each other on video? Like, this is reminding me of that. And I like the answer he gave me. What the hell you want with my door, bro? You can't just be knocking the door after you stole my camera. I got another camera, bro. I know it's you.
Peace.
Peace?
Rightfully so, the owner of the doorbell camera politely declined, stating that he cannot forgive a seemingly random act of theft.
Too late for that.
What?
Too late for that.
Too late?
When you stole from me, you started your own war. Too late for that.
So it's too late for peace?
You had a chance at peace. You had that night, you could have made peace by bringing my shit back you stole. When you stole from me, you started your own war.
So we are at war, according to you?
After this comment, however, the man stops replying. I think even he soon realized that there's nothing to gain by waging war with the man who...
Yeah, I don't think war is the correct term. I might say we are not speaking. We are beefing is even better than war. War sounds like, oh, it's on sight. That's what that sounds
who's
like.
clearly not well. War to the doorbell cam owner might just be calling the police. War to this man, who knows?
Yeah.
The man then returns back to his apartment. However, this interaction has only just begun.
Oh boy.
Not long after the man's return to the door, you can hear the theme of The Lion King, The Circle of Life, begin to play from the man's room. He comes out, rings the doorbell once again, and gives another attempt at a peace offering.
I guess that means you're hearing this?
Do speak.
Oh, playing the Lion King song is wild. I mean, I don't... Okay, I'm curious what he's thinking here. Like, is that a peace song that he's trying to put out there to tell the dude, okay, look, my bad. You know what he could probably do? Go back, get the money, or the doorbell, bring it back, put it on the front door. Yeah, give him something to, my bad, dog. If you bought a new camera, I'll buy you another camera for you, just in case, all right? That's how you can try to settle this out, because I don't see any other way this is going to work out.
Okay, so there's wine, cheese, and crackers across the hall if you're interested.
After again declining, this very persistent neighbor has one more trick up his sleeve. He emerges once more with a sheet over his head, only to smear a sticky substance on the camera, blinding any view. I'm not sure if this was a ploy for a later scheme that he had in mind, but it wasn't long before the police were called and they arrested the man. You really never know who might just live raw.
Yo, that's wild.
Sometimes it's not what we see that's so disturbing, but instead what could happen. In 2019, a man in Bristol can be seen approaching a door in a strange-looking mask. He waits a few seconds, proceeds to wipe his fingerprints on the door handle, and leaves.
Oh, hold up. Okay, that tells you he was up to no good. Number one, never open the door. I don't care who it is. Somebody's knocking the door. If you can't see them and you don't know who it is, do not open the door. They can be a salesman. They can be the trash man. They can be the mailman. I don't care who it is. Do not. Number two, there's a mask on, and then he removes the fingerprints. Exactly.
Leaves. I want to believe that this occurred because the man is likely an existing felon, wiping his prints as they're already in the police system. However, something else that concerned me even more is what's in his front pocket. You can't tell, but there's something heavy weighing down his sweater. While this could be just a phone or a wallet, I can't help but wonder if it's a weapon, maybe a gun or a blunt object like a hammer, that he intended to use on the unknowing homeowner who may have answered the door. Luckily, the owner can go on living another day, forever looking at this footage, being thankful that he never answered this door. What you are about to see is probably the most disturbing piece of footage that I have ever seen on a doorbell camera. Honestly, you've likely already seen it given its mass popularity and coverage. But if you haven't, strap yourself in and prepare to watch what happens when some of the most deranged members of society come knocking at your front door. On July 21st of 2021, a woman named Amanda would take to Facebook to report a man who arrived at her door while she was home alone. She claims she has never seen this man before in her life and could not believe what she heard. Take a look.
I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions.
Oh, that's even worse. Like, especially for women, I have to feel for them. Like, if you're a woman who lives by herself or has children in the house, and you're a single mother, man, do not ever open the front door, especially a man like this. This man has got a beater on. He looks probably in his 50s and 60s. You know, what the hell is he doing knocking at your door and then he's telling you I'm ringing the doorbell? Do not open the door for people like this.
Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure?
The man continues to repeat the words, "Are you sure?" and "Are you positive?" while continuing to knock on the door. The woman then called her husband, who was able to chat with the man through the speaker on the Ring doorbell camera. Just as the man begins to walk away, the husband gets on the microphone asking why is he here.
Who are you?
Hey, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about AP Fuel.
Yo, shout out to the man of the house, baby. That's what's up, man. You got to protect the family at all times. He's probably on his way right now. Gassing. I'm coming, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, what the hell you want?
What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm gonna rape her and kill her.
Whoa! Whoa! Come on, females. Y'all gotta learn how to use these weapons. Y'all gotta get knives. Y'all gotta get peppers. Anything to protect yourself. Like at this time, if your husband is not there, he has to teach you how to use a weapon. Just in case anyone tries to break in. Because this dude said it out loud. So we know what his plan was. Oh, I've never seen this video. Apparently it's been trending. Where the heck have I been?
You have her open the door? I'm gonna rape and kill the girl that's on the other side of this door when she lets me in.
This is when things take a much darker turn. It's so unreal because the man says exactly what we're all thinking. It's incredibly disturbing, but it's not hard to connect the dots on what might happen if this woman were to answer this door. However, although somewhat expected, hearing the man say with no hesitation that he plans to rape and kill the woman on the other side of this door is one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen on a door cam footage. The man turned out to be Christopher Sums, who was later arrested the next day for aggravated stalking and attempted burglary. The final piece of footage we have of him is him walking away, still saying the same phrases we heard at the front door.
Yo!
What?
What city is that? I can't figure it out. Trying to see the background. Number two, I always advocate for living in a neighborhood. It feels better to me. I'm always used to that. They living on the street like this, man, I can't live like that. That's not for me.
Watch as two men immediately notice the doorbell camera and attempt to get out of the field of view. You can clearly see the back end of a weapon sticking out of one of the man's pockets. After knocking, he pulls out the weapon and arms himself for the answer.
CPD, open up. We need to ask you a couple questions.
Man, if you don't get out of here with that bull. Yo! Oh my God. Like, what do you do in that type of situation? Number one, you call the police. Number two, get the strap. Number three, do not open the door. And don't even answer him. Because if you answer him, that he knows that you're in there. Sheesh.
The man attempts to disguise himself as a member of CPD, the Columbus, Ohio Police Department, to entice the owner to answer the door. The homeowner eventually speaks to the doorbell speaker and asks the men to show some identification, to which they obviously decline.
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions.
I'm sorry?
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. May you please step to the front door, please?
Can I see a badge?
We would like you to step to the door, please, sir. I don't have to show you my badge, sir.
Clearly, no police officer would show up to a door in a Rugrats hoodie and a mask, so I assume they had some confidence they couldn't.
First of all, I didn't peep that. He has a Rugrats hoodie. And I can see you, stupid. The camera, the wide angle cameras, you dumbass. And then you're going to take your mask off. I can see you. You're going to jail.
Be seen by the doorbell camera.
Okay, give me a second.
911. Yeah,
the man then tells him to wait a moment, and he never answers the door. I assume he likely called the police and told them just to hang on for 1 second in the hopes the police would get there before they leave. After about 2 minutes of waiting, however, the men seemed to catch on that he wasn't answering the door and proceeded to leave the frame, potentially to another house in the neighborhood. Luckily, this man was fortunate enough that these men weren't disguised. They clearly weren't police officers. But let's see what happens when the disguises get a little more believable. In East London, a man posing as a delivery driver knocks on the front door of a family's house. Before giving the package,
Now, this is the old trick. I definitely have known about this trick for a while. Well, so I do know, according to the rules, they're supposed to drop the package, ring the doorbell, and get out of sight immediately. They can't be there for a long time. And I know each employee has a time limit of how long they can be at each destination. It's like 30 seconds or something like that. So if you see someone trying to drop a package and they sit there, something is off. Sometimes you have to sign, so I'm not sure how that works. Damn, that's weird though. If you have to sign a letter, how would you do that? Oh man, just don't open the door.
The delivery man says that he must take a picture of the package in front of the house first. He takes the photo, and as the man begins to reach down for the package, the delivery driver storms the house and gets support from three other criminals hiding
look
out
at
of
that.
sight.
You see that? 1, 2, 3. Is it East London?
From here, the rest of the footage consists of the chilling screams coming from the family inside the home. This, in all honesty, is the worst type of horror to me. You can't see what's going on, you can only hear it, and it's up to your imagination to play what's going on inside. I won't show all the audio, however, as this gets very disturbing. This is because inside, the man who answered the door was slashed across the head by a knife.
Damn.
And their 11-year-old son who was playing computer games got shot in the shoulder by a gun. You can only...
Alright, I can't understand these type of criminals. I don't get it. What's the point of doing all that? Why are you shooting an 11-year-old kid? Alright, man, some people like this, some people deserve the hole. Put them in the joint. Don't let them ever come out. I don't give a damn.
Only imagine the disturbing wails of the parents after this occurred. The men eventually leave, and a blood-covered father runs outside and calls for help. A man pulls over, and the police were called. Luckily, all victims of the robbery survived. Anthony Lascales was jailed for 23 years.
Yeah!
Christopher Sargent was jailed for 20 years.
Woo!
And AJ Singh was jailed for 25 years.
Yeah!
The family were later moved from their home, as returning after the incident left the family in a constant state of PTSD and fear of unsafety.
I've been through that. I know exactly how that feels. When that happened, we had to move as well.
Behind the own walls of their house. Another example of a disguised attack comes from Montgomery County, where a woman posed as a food delivery driver. This may seem innocent enough. Many delivery drivers often get the wrong address and show up at the wrong home. However, take a look at the footage from the backyard camera. A group of men in white hoodies can be seen running through the backyard. They were scoping out the property to see if there was any way to access the home, likely for a robbery. Although it's creepy enough to see a bunch of hooded men running through your backyard, I mention this footage for another reason. Check out this clip captured by an indoor Ring camera. A group of teenage children were left alone while the parents were away for a few days. Unfortunately, multiple home intruders entered the home armed with weapons and forced the children to lay on the ground as they searched the home for valuables. The father...
Alright, first of all, I already know they're black. You see the dude sagging? That's only black dudes do something like that. Number 2, how did they get in the home? I'm guessing the kids opened the door, or how did they? Maybe they broke in. I don't know.
Father ends up seeing the footage and calls the police.
Hey, who's in my house? I got you on camera.
The cops are on the way.
The cops are on their way.
My
neighbors are there. They're calling the cops right now.
I really can't imagine being the father in this scenario. You're so far away, yet so close to seeing your children's final moments from death, unable to do anything about it. Luckily, nobody was hurt. However, I did notice that these intruders shared the same stature as those seen running through the backyard in the previous clip. They're also wearing very similar outfits, and get this, both incidents occurred in Texas. The location of these two events were about 60 miles apart, making it unlikely that these two cases are related. However, it is odd to see such similar criminals looking to invade houses in the middle of the night, both in Texas. On October 2nd of 2022 at 5 a.m., 3 men in masks approach a doorstep, each armed with a firearm. They place their hands over the door camera to avoid any additional characteristics being picked up for investigation. Luckily, no one answered, and they soon left.
Okay, a woman?
On April 29th,
Nah, B. Nah. I'll call the police for you, but I'm not opening the door. I'm sorry. No, sir.
a woman approached the front doors of a home at 4:30 in the morning, clearly scared and desperate. She stays low and seems to be hiding from something.
Good thing you got dogs.
Later in the video, you can see the headlights from a car in the distance, and the woman frantically hides behind the pillar next to the front doorstep. It really seems like,
Yo, you suck at this, girl. Why would you hide and then move?
that somebody was chasing after this woman, whether it be a domestic dispute or an escape kidnapping. She stays hiding for a while and attempts to knock on the door once more. After this, she begins to leave, and we can see the headlights of another car just out of the frame of view from the camera. We can only see the woman for a few frames, but to me it appears as if she's running towards the car. Likely, this car wasn't somebody chasing after the woman, and she went to the car seeking help. This incident took place only 2 weeks before the upload of this video. No other information has been found, and I can only hope that those headlights were one of safety and not of danger.
I feel you on that one. Girl, get your butt in the house.
This is another example of a potentially disturbing incident caught on a nearby Ring door cam. Close at midnight in Los Angeles, you can hear the screams of a woman coming from a vehicle down the street. The more you listen, the worse it gets.
Yo, there's no way that is a black person. This you're like in the scary movies when white people hear something and they go towards the screen. Black people, we are going away from the scream. All right, I am not going to get myself involved in something that has nothing to do with me. Okay, I will call the police for you. That's all I can do, lady.
The car then speeds off and the footage ends. This clip becomes incredibly disturbing when you realize that nothing came out of this investigation. The car was never located, and all individuals involved in the incident were never identified. While we all want to hope the best in this situation, there is no way of knowing how this concluded and what happened to the poor woman stuck in the car on that tragic night. You'll find that this video is slightly different than the rest on this list. A man and his dog walk outside onto the patio when a small bear quickly hops the fence and attacks the dog. Without hesitation, the man jumps on the bear, pushes him out, and uses the bench to restrict the bear of entry. The dogs were not harmed, and the man only suffered minimal injuries. Luckily. I included this in this list as bear attacks can be some of the most gruesome and painful deaths to endure. The grizzly bear grabbed Lee Brook from behind, pulled him off the ground, and then rode on his back down a slope, crushing the left side of his body.
Damn.
It also bit off much of his face.
Ooh.
As Brook lay bleeding, unaware of the extent of his injuries, he could look over and see his nose and mustache on the ground.
Oh.
These are the words describing a bear attack on survivor Lee Brook, who lived to tell the tale. Knowing this, the man featured in this video should be thankful every night that this bear encounter didn't end the way that many others have gone in the past. While this isn't a Ring doorbell camera, I found something incredibly unsettling regarding a Ring security camera found in a little girl's bedroom late one night. The security camera was hacked and began to play the song most known from Insidious, Through the Tulips. The little girl wakes up and a voice begins to talk to the girl.
Hello?
To me, it honestly sounds like a teenage boy who figured out how to hack these security cameras and was just trolling. While this is still no excuse for this unacceptable behavior, it didn't seem like it was anything more than this. The boy begins to tell the girl that he is Santa Claus and to go to her mother and say the N-word.
Go tell mommy you're in.
Come on, bro. Really? This is a little girl. Why the hell would you do this? Man, some people are just whack.
I'm your best friend. You can do whatever you want right now. You can mess up your room. You can break your TV. You can do whatever you want. I'm Santa Claus.
This was essentially the extent of it, and while it's still unsettling to know that this could happen in your own home, what makes me most unnerved is what could have happened that we are unaware about. How often was the security camera breached? And how long was the man watching? This is an 8-year-old girl. An 8-year-old girl. Just the thought of somebody watching an 8-year-old when she's alone in her bedroom is enough to make me sick. What makes me the most disturbed is how often does this happen and how often does it go unnoticed? This probably would have gone undiscovered if the guy didn't end up talking over the speaker. We hear about all the justice and people who get caught, but who knows how many intruders are out there, watching you in your most private and unsuspecting moments. This has been the unnerving
Wow. Okay. Sheesh. That was definitely dark. All right. First of all, never open the door. That's what we've learned. Number 2, get a weapon in your home. Number 3, call the police 911 if anything happens. Number 4, do not involve yourself with things that have nothing to do with you. Number 5, stay safe out there, guys. At night, things go crazy. I have been involved in this situation in my life. You do get PTSD from this. Is what it is. Move to a better neighborhood. I know, costs a lot more money. You just got to work harder, man. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.